Hi, my name's Nicole.
Hi, my name is Tony.
And my name is Shao,
And welcome to the Dope Student Podcast.
And who do we have here?
Hi, I'm Mollie Elkman.
Hi, Miss Molly. So we're going to be asking you some questions today. First question is, can you tell us about your journey into the home building industry and what inspired you to join the field, especially considering your family's background?
So I actually took over my dad's company. My dad owned a marketing company for home builders, and I am a second-generation business owner. So I grew up around home building my whole life and have been around job sites my whole life, and I have always loved the industry, but the more further I get in my career, the more I love the industry and want to share it with the next generation.
You mentioned being often the only woman in the room when you started in this industry. Can you share some of your experience in the past that influenced your career path?
Yeah, so a lot of the home building companies that I work with, there are women who do the white collar jobs like the sales and the marketing. But when you get out onto the job site and actually building, you don't see a lot of women. And that can be really challenging, especially because we have a labor shortage. Mm-hmm. So if you look at all the people who are retiring, there are going to be so many jobs that are becoming available in this industry. So being able to master a skill and work with your hands is going to be the most valuable tool that young people can have, because we need people to do those jobs. So if you go out onto a job site, you'll see that less than 1% of all people on job sites are women. So with a labor shortage, that's the perfect place to show women and girls that there are great jobs and that they have this great opportunity in their future.
What are some of the key roles and responsibilities of a sales and marketing professional in the home building industry?
So sales and marketing is all about storytelling. So I am also a storyteller because I have a children's book. But sales and marketing is about helping home building companies and companies in the industry share their story of what makes them special and unique. So that's really what I specialize in, is sharing the stories of companies and people, and with the house that she built, of a specific build, in a way that emphasizes what makes it special, what makes it stand out. And that's my job.
Can you describe a role as the president and owner Group 2? What is your day-to-day responsibilities and entail?
Yeah. So my company that I own is called Group 2. That was my dad's that I took over. My role has changed throughout the years. So when I first started, it was during 2006, which was a time when the housing industry was really struggling. And at that time, you will appreciate this, I started my career doing social media for home builders. And that was really how I started to build my reputation in the industry, because a lot of home builders didn't understand social media and social media marketing. So at that time, I had a team of about 4 people. Today, I have a team of about 35 people. And now we do much more than social media. We have a social media department, a creative department, a digital marketing department, a media department, an account services department. And we do everything that represents home building companies. So everything from their logo, their name, their community. We name sometimes the models, doing all of their brochures, their ads, their websites, all of that.
Diversity and inclusion are important values in today's workforce. How do you see these principles being embraced in home building industries, and what positive changes have you witnessed over your career?
So I think we're heading in the right direction. I think, every industry really has a struggle in front of them, right? It's part of why I focus so much on your generation. I think your generation has a different understanding, and it's better to, it's hard to change someone's perspective who has lived an entire life of thinking a certain way. And to me, that's why children and elementary and middle school students are so inspiring to be around. So I really focus on your age group. So if you look at the book, you'll see, the intent there was for everyone who picks up the book girls especially, but all people, to see someone they identify with. So everyone's body is different, everyone's skin color is different, everyone's hair is different, everyone's body language is different. And the whole idea is that there is a place in construction and the skilled trades for everyone. And, if we don't start that message with the youngest learners, then it's never really taught. So I think we're heading in the right direction, but we have a long way to go.
You mentioned that all women built a home project that inspired you. Could you share some about this project and the impact had on you personally and professionally?
Yes. So throughout my career, I have met a handful of women who own home building companies. And one of those women, we became very close. Her name is Christy Allen, and she is my age, and she lives in Utah. And she started her career kind of like I did in sales and marketing, and she had this aha moment that that's not where she belongs. She belongs on the job site. And her dad was a general contractor. Her grandfather was a general contractor, and she just didn't think that a girl could do it growing up because she never had that message in front of her. So she started her career like I did, and then had a complete shift and started her own home building company. And she would post these pictures on social media out on a job site, framing homes with her kids and with all these inspiring people. And she had this idea to build a house to show that women can do every single job that goes into building a house, from designing the floor plan to actually building it, framing the home, the roofing, the plumbing, every aspect of it, all the way through to landscaping, interior design, sales, and marketing. So she asked me if I could do the marketing for it, and that's exactly what I did. And the creative director at my company, Georgia Castellano, and I named it The House That She Built. And so we got to tell the stories of these amazing women. And what ended up happening, which you guys will appreciate, there weren't enough women in Utah to do these jobs. So they had to fly women from all over the country. And as we're telling the stories of these women from all over the country, Georgia and I are like, these women are amazing. They had different education, they spoke different languages. They had totally different paths that got them to that job site, but all of their skills and all of their background were needed to build that home. So to me, it's a real lesson that being an individual is so powerful, and then also bringing your individual skill to a group. You can do anything. It's really, really remarkable. So I wanted to turn that into a story so that we could continue to share that.
What advice do you have for young students who may be interested in pursuing a career in the home building industry or a related field?
Do it. I would say learn all the things, right? If you can master a trade, you will have a lifetime of success. And I think that message was never really given to my generation. We were kind of pushed in one direction, thinking, that there was one path that was the right path. That is not how success works. Success works by finding something that you are really good at and mastering it, and you will always have a skill that is needed. So I know when I was your age, I focused so much of my energy on the things that I was not as good at, right? Because I was trying to keep up. And instead, I should have, if I were to do it again, I would focus on the things that I was really good at, that I loved, that I was skilled at, because those are the things that you're going to want to use in your career when you're older. So that would be my advice is, keep practicing and mastering the skills that you enjoy, and you will always have a career.
In your experience, what qualities or skills are valuable for some looking to succeed in the sales marketing aspect of the home building industry?
So I think for any successful person in any industry, one of the most important skills is curiosity. And that's probably an odd answer, but when you're curious about learning new things and discovering new things, it you find reward, right, in that curiosity, whether it's meeting someone new or trying something new. And that's for every single industry. So for me, I'm a storyteller, so I love learning about people's stories and what they do. You know, I walked in here and I asked Mr. Jarrett right away, tell me about this program, tell me, you know, all these different questions. And a lot of that comes from just genuine curiosity. You know, I want to know how this program got here and has grown into, you know, this amazing group that you have and this podcast and all of that. So curiosity is going to serve you your whole life. So keep asking questions, keep discovering new things, and keep learning. And that will always, always serve you in your career, no matter what career you have.
How has the industry's approaching to marketing and sales evolved during your career, and what trends do you see on the horizon?
So sales and marketing it's always changing. So think about how people communicate. It's changing, right? Your parents didn't have social media when we were your age, right? So sales and marketing is really about getting in front of people how they communicate. So it will always evolve as communication evolves. So back in the day, it was print ads in newspapers, okay? Now you're talking websites, apps, social media, and now with the advancement of AI, it's going to continue to change as people change. So that's, you know, one of the things that is always consistent in sales and marketing, but also in life, is change. So just being adaptable and changing and applying that curiosity to understand why people are using a new platform, or, you know, being where those conversations are happening is really how sales and marketing evolves.
Can you share some of your most memorable moments or archivements in the role as a sales marketing professional in home building industry?
Yes. So winning Best Places to Work for my company was a huge, huge, huge achievement. I have always wanted to create a place where people like to come together and do work that they feel proud of. So that was one that I was very proud of. A couple years ago, I also won Sales and Marketing Professional of the Year from the National Association of Home Builders. And that was really cool because I love what I do. And I think when you're passionate about what you do and you really love it and you are going, it is very nice. It's not always about awards. They're not that important, but it is nice to be recognized by your peers, right? So it's the same as like if someone takes a second to stop and say, wow, you built that, that's amazing, right? It feels good to be recognized by your peers. So that was a really nice achievement as well.
Are there any misconceptions about your job or the home building industry that you'd like to address?
Ooh, misconceptions. Let's see. I would say that you can have a career in the housing industry, for example, which is my industry, and it doesn't look like one thing. So I would just say there are so many opportunities. I mean, everything from the architect to the painter to someone doing what I do, which is sales and marketing. So, when you find something that interests you, we tend to kind of simplify it or make it a little bit smaller than it is. And I will say, no matter what your interest is, whether it's science or math or art or English like me, it is always you will always have a path in the trades and in home building and in construction. So there are a lot more opportunities. It is not just, you can be out there, focused on plumbing or one side of it, but it's so much bigger than what you're thinking. One of my friends who was the master plumber on the house that she built, sometimes you think about plumbing, and you guys know this, like it's not really just like a plunger, right? You're building complex systems that move water in and out. And as a society, that is so important. Think about how hard our life would be if we didn't have clean water coming in and dirty water going out. I mean, it is so important. So, thinking about it in a more intellectual way of like these complex systems that are behind the walls that are fundamental to the way we live. It's really powerful. So just remembering that there are so many opportunities.
What are your hopes and goals for the future of home building industry, especially in terms of diversity, inclusion, and how do you plan to contribute these goals? You work at Group 2.
So I actually just started, and I didn't share this with you. I just started a nonprofit, and it's called the She Built Foundation. And the nonprofit is inspired by the book, and how receptive people have been to it. So the objective is for the She Built Foundation to really have measurable impact on the future of the industry. And we're going to support programs similar to this one that are doing the work, right? So we're going to be supporting these kinds of programs. We're going to be getting the message out there, working on education materials, and also watching that change happen, right? With an ability to measure it. So I would love to see in 10 years a huge measurable difference in the amount of girls and underrepresented communities in all of these jobs, and in 20 years for it to feel completely different.
So do you have any social media platform that you would like to tell us?
Sure. So you can find the book and materials at She Built Book, and that is our handle on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. So it's She Built Book. And you can also look at our website, shebuiltbook.com. And we have a YouTube channel and all of that. So I would love to connect. And I hope that your listeners will follow us, because we would love to, keep this relationship going. And as we build this nonprofit, we would really love to support the work that you guys are doing, because it's so important.
Thank you for letting us interview you.
Thank you so much for watching another episode on the Dope Student Podcast. Bye.